Welcome to iHeartGeek.
And welcome to another episode of iHeartGeek.
Yeah.
Come on, players. There's like two people here. They have no energy.
Yay!
Do the geek. Can you do the geek diggy?
The geek.
Wow, this is like Comic-Con gone really,
Stop
really
what you're
wrong.
doing.
This is like
The
third
podcast
day
is
of
ruined.
Comic-Con. We're all starting to smell a little funky in our cosplay.
We smell the funk.
Well, you want to hear about some funk? We got some funk coming up today because we are doing comic book movies that are not Marvel.
Dun,
What?
Dun,
Yeah,
dun.
they make those.
There's
Can you
other,
believe that?
there's
No
other comics
way!
besides Marvel?
You know what?
Yeah, well, Marvel's called toilet paper. You know, not
Smurf you all. Smurf you all.
Smurf.
I'm gonna smurf you up on that one. Kat.
Smurfy.
Okay, before I introduce everybody, iHeartGeek today is brought to you by the DCEU. We all love a
Who?
good underdog story.
Wow.
Yep.
Wait, who?
That cuts.
DCEU, they exist,
Did-
yeah.
Yeah.
That
well,
hurts over here. That hurts, man.
there's
It
two.
hurts because it's true.
You know,
We've been putting stitches on it. Thank you.
thanks to
Okay,
the ladies
I have
and the
two-
Polynesian
I
guy.
have two words for you. Green Lantern.
I got
okay,
two
we
more.
I got
for you.
one word for you. Shazam.
That was good.
Yep.
But still, Green Lantern.
Wonder Woman.
Yeah, but
Aquaman.
We have another chance with
Yes,
the buddy cop
no,
one, which
I've-
I hope that they should get right. It'll be awesome.
I believe that they can come back. I'm hoping for it. Please.
Can we get Richard Donner to come back for the new Green Lantern movie?
Richard Donner?
Have Richard Donner do it.
That would be
That would be
freaking
amazing.
It would be good.
Okay, let's go through the panel real quick. I'm Dub, and I'm your producer.
I am the token black geek.
Tolkien, but
You're also the
like
token
Lord of the
only guy
Rings.
who likes Batman versus Superman.
That's what makes me the token.
I'm Kaj. I'm your friendly, lovable geek.
I'm Siege. I'm the girl geek.
It's-
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
One of them.
You know, why are you questioning if
Geek.
you're a girl?
Right.
geek or
I'm like,
not?
is that what we're
Are
gonna
you
call
questioning
me?
the girl and the geek? I'm a little worried
I
right
know.
now.
I was like, that
We
would
have a
that
couple
be-
of girl geeks
would that be a
come on the
geekette?
show.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not the only girl geek that's been on the show. So.
Would that be a geekette, or
But
do
you're
you
the
just
only
no,
straight
geek
geek?
that's on the
no,
straight geek
just
normally.
straight girl geek.
Okay, all right.
A Betty geek.
That's Betty Geek.
Betty Geek.
I'm Wonder Woman.
Geek Page.
I like
Geek
that.
page.
Geek Page.
Geek page. Yes.
That's my new nickname.
Geeky Page.
Oh, that's gonna be your new Twitter name.
And Geeky Page.
Geeky Page.
Yes. Oh, I'm not calling you anything but that ever again. Okay. Yeah. Let's kind of get started on this. What non-Marvel comic book do you guys want to see made, and in what media?
Oh, God.
We all know that sometimes movies aren't the best place for certain comic books. For instance, I would like to watch a Witchblade, but not in a movie form. I want to see it in a HBO series type form.
Right, so they can get down and dirty with that.
Yeah,
And
it
boobs.
needs to be a series.
Yeah. Well, same thing with I think HBO is going to be like either that or Netflix is going to be the prime place where these things are going to be going because then they can do whatever they want to. But Fables,
Yeah.
doing Fables as a mini series.
Okay, if you were to do Fables as a miniseries, though, oof.
Before we move off of Fables, who do you want to see play Snow? Who do you want to see Big B? And who do you want to see Prince Charming?
Okay, yeah.
I just,
And Jack.
basically everybody from Once Upon a Time.
No.
But I'm saying, would you break it up? Because you can't binge watch a Fable like
No, you could do one book, and that's a full season.
Yeah.
And there's what 20.
You think that would? I think there'd be more than a season out of one book.
Not the first couple, because you have Animal Farm.
Okay.
That's definitely one season, and the murder mystery of the first one, and that cannot be more than a season. In fact, that could probably you could
Be
cut
half
that
a
down to
season.
3.
Yeah, okay.
But you want to
Maybe-
see that it's an HBO?
Maybe do do like several episodes, but then have a big movie for like the big reveals.
So-
and then do a little bit more.
Do you think you can get away with more on HBO than you could on Netflix?
Netflix doesn't seem to want to push the envelope.
I'd say it's probably about even. Because, I mean, look at what they did with Punisher and they did with Jessica Jones.
Then I would say Netflix.
And Daredevil.
I think people have more access to Netflix than they do than to HBO.
Well, the
Yeah.
biggest problem with Netflix with HBO is HBO says, "Oh, we can show boobs. We must show boobs."
Yeah.
For no reason.
Well,
Netflix
and there's-
doesn't do that.
HBO also, and this is probably going to get me beat up by some of the listeners, but HBO tends to kind of turn a blind eye to unnecessary violence against women. And I say that as somebody who loves Game of Thrones, there's a lot of unnecessary violence against women in Game of Thrones that's not in the book. So, that's an iffy kind of.
Okay.
But I mean, HBO does a lot more. They do push the envelope more for stuff than say Netflix would. I mean, I think Punisher is probably the darkest thing
but
that.
I think they could go so much darker on it.
Yeah.
I thought they did a great job.
Yeah.
Well, that Love, Death, and Robots thing was kind of the animation thing. I haven't finished all of those, but there are some of them that are just. I literally almost turned it off. I'm like, this is crazy. Oh my gosh.
And I mean, and some of Amazon stuff can be. It's not dark like.
Well, like the Tick stuff, they've done a great job.
Yeah, and Man in the High Castle. I mean, but that's got less.
The
boobs,
classical
I guess.
music one, Mozart in the Jungle.
Mozart in the Jungle.
With.
Okay, well, we'll throw Amazon in there too.
Okay,
So I would say probably non-mainstream.
Yeah.
Okay. I was just curious for Fables where you would go with it.
And then there's Hulu even, and I want to say this because if you guys
They've got
watched,
Handmaid's Tale.
but if you guys watched Misfits, it's not actually a Hulu, but they show it on Hulu, and that's as dark as you need to ever go on any comic book, honestly.
Okay.
And it's filthy at some points, but it doesn't like live there. And they've done a good job about, there's some nudity, but it's not like in your face every
Gratuitous.
single episode.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So what else do you guys want to see?
I would like to see some of the pulp heroes.
Such as?
The Phantom, the Shadow, Doc Savage. The Phantom and the Shadow both had movies, and I'm not going to talk about the Phantom because that's actually on my list. But the Shadow, they did a movie version
With Baldwin?
in the '90s, with Baldwin in it. It's a terrible disservice to the Shadow. I mean, the Shadow.
With the ring.
The Shadow was the precursor to Batman, and I mean he's if you ever listen to the old serials, which you can get, like Orson Welles played him for a while. Yeah, you can free, and they're just as good as they were back in the day. Like I listened to them at work periodically to pass the time, and I would like to see a good Shadow movie made that's true to the character. I would like to see, or even you could do a series because. A limited run series with him would be really kind of cool.
Well, I want to throw this out. I would like to see the Shadow get remade as a podcast or
you could
radio
totally do
drama.
that.
Yeah.
Why not with today's technology?
Actually, I like the one up that. The Shadow, I'm about to take you back, Dub.
I love the Shadow.
If you remember the old cartoon series, Defenders of the Earth.
Yes.
If you think about it, you could have a shared universe if you did it nice and easy that would include the Shadow, would include Flash Gordon.
Dynamite Comics does that now.
But I'm thinking in a movie form.
Yeah, you could absolutely, because Doc Savage
a
is
shared
in there.
Yeah, and I think if you did them right, you could.
I would like to see
With the
that.
Shadow, at least.
Yeah.
Because the universe that the Shadow shares is...
There's a lot of potential.
Like you said, Dynamics Comic does.
There's a lot of potential with the Shadow,
Really
and I
is.
think it would really. I think his character would really appeal to people nowadays too, because he's got that. I mean, like he's a precursor to Batman, so he's the same kind of as Batman and Iron Man. He's got that he's Lamont Cranston, your bon vivant, your man about town, but then he's the Shadow.
Yeah.
On the other side of it.
Now, would you keep it in the old-fashioned era, or would you bring it into? Would you make him into modern day? And
It
it's
failed
kind of,
last time they did.
Yeah,
No, you do
they
not
made
do
a
modern.
modernized version in like 2000 or
Just
something,
classic.
and it was just garbage.
Okay.
It's even worse than. Oh wait, that was the Phantom.
Yeah.
They did a
Phantom
Phantom in a
was-
modernized.
I
Phantom
think
was-
that they need to do in like the
Like 2020 or something.
Yeah.
The 80s would be an interesting kind of dynamic to it.
For the
I
Shadow?
like the 30s and 40s.
No, you got to keep him in the 40s.
Yeah, I like the 30s and the 40s
That's like trying to update
setting,
Dick Tracy
so-
or something.
Yeah.
Which I would like to see. I would love to see another Dick Tracy.
that's coming out.
Is
Is
there?
it?
There's a comic. I've got the comic on hold at Maximum.
revamping
Oh yeah, no, I saw that,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, but
I
I'd
would
like to see
but I would like to see it done in a more serious
a
tone.
serial, yeah, and even a serialized, maybe the limited run series of
That would be a
TV
Netflix
version
show. Now,
of
that could be a
of
good
Dick
Netflix
Tracy.
show.
I think would be really a lot of fun too. And then I'm gonna throw out one that you guys probably don't know. It's an indie comic. I met the guy at I'm gonna say WonderCon a couple of years ago. He does this comic called Rum Row.
Okay.
And it takes place during Prohibition, but it's kind of like alternate reality, alternate history. Well, Rum Row was where they bring the that's what they called the ships that were coming in off of New Jersey and Atlantic City. Well, he puts everything in the air, so there's Zeppelins.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Rum Row is actually the airspace above New York City, and Rum Row consists of Zeppelins that are different hotels and speakeasies.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So it's he's got two comics out now, and then he's working on the third, and then he's doing an anthology, and I'm actually going to be writing one of the shorts for him, which is kind of cool. But the universe is a really neat universe, and it's a really neat idea, and I think it'd be interesting to see it done in maybe like a serialized version too. So
Nice. Another one I want to see, and this is what I would like to see on like AMC or Sci-Fi, because Sci-Fi's been doing great with this stuff, which would be Hack Slash. I've talked about that one quite a bit. Carl's will give me that look like, yeah. I think
AMC.
She's Buffy, only better.
It would have to be an AMC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what? Let it cross over somehow with Badlands or...
Yeah, I was gonna say it could. Badlands would be the only one it probably could.
Yeah.
Though.
You know what? You can even have like
You can introduce it actually out of Badlands.
or you could even put it in with like you could have like hints to the Breaking Bad series, because that could be very easily in that same universe.
Okay, I can see it.
Because the monsters aren't monsters; they're just serial killers, and they're all crazy. So it's it's so much fun. It's Buffy turned 10.
Okay.
If you haven't read it, you should. But that's definitely what I'd like to see on like an AM. It'd need to be a series. You couldn't do a movie with it because they would porn it up basically.
I would like to see it's a fun nostalgia for me, but a television series form of it, of bringing back the Long Ranger.
Well, they did the movie.
No.
the movie wasn't really the Lone Ranger though.
Go back and watch the old black and whites.
Oh, I love them.
Yeah.
But imagine doing that in a modern way and bringing back that Western aspect. I think we've lost it, and we only get like a Western movie here and there, and they tend to want to go too far into the blood and the gore and the gritty of it. But the fun hero aspect of the Lone Ranger and the lore and the story of them being a show.
Yeah.
I take that. I
can
love
see
those old pulp era heroes though, so I'm totally on board with the Lone Ranger.
My biggest concern is if they do anything old in today's TV and they want to keep it like period piece, that goes really campy.
Doesn't have to be.
It doesn't have to,
doesn't
but
have
that's
to be.
just how they make it. And that's what would scare me.
I think that's probably what happened with the movie, the Lone Ranger movie.
The movie went way too.
Because I didn't like the fact that they turned.
Tonto was terrible.
Well, Tonto was terrible, but also
Terrible.
I really don't. I don't like the fact that they made the Lone Ranger. I mean, I like Armie Hammer. I do.
A buffoon.
Right. It's like that's not.
He was nowhere
That's
near
not the
that.
Lone
Lawman,
Ranger.
Right.
Yeah.
He was
You know, I
heroic.
mean, yeah, he was the hero. He was
every bit John Wayne.
Yeah.
but like not mean. He was, he was good-hearted, and he wasn't a bumbling buffoon like they had Armie Hammer play the character, and that's one of the biggest disappointments for me, because I went in like you going, "Yay, Lone Ranger!" and I was like, "What the heck is this stuff?"
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's what happens a lot of times.
The trailers were misleading in that aspect.
They were, because you expected him to be this massive heroic guy, and you wanted the whole Hi-Yo Silver away, and you didn't get much of that. So
Okay, so let's move on because we could probably stay here all day. So let's move on because, we like to play games. We got a 3366.
66% truth, 33% lies. Can you tell the difference?
Okay, on this 66, 33, 33, 66, take it as you will, we are going to, and we're going to be discussing a couple of comic books. Kind of. So before I go on, I would like to thank Jen for writing this out for us because Jason wasn't able to make it. So
Thanks, Jen.
While we were recording our last show, she did some research and wrote this up for us. So thank you very much. We really appreciate it.
She the best it is.
Yes. Why don't you come over here and say something about it, Jen?
Yeah,
and I'm going to duck as she's throwing something here.
What does that look for?
A shoe just went past my head.
So on this 3366, we are going to tell you 2 true statements and 1 lying statement. And you are here to tell us which one is the lie.
I'm not really the token. There's the lie.
Oh.
Wow.
But you are my bleak. You'll always be my bleak.
I heart you.
I Heart Geek.
I heart geek.
Okay, so statement number 1, having to do with the Rocketeer. Jenny Blake was Betty Page in the comic book originally. That's statement number 1. Do you know who Jenny Blake is? From
Yes.
the Rocketeer? Yes, okay.
Yes.
Number 2, Zorro. He was based off the popular Vogue magazine hero who spawned numerous films and TV shows for decades. Got it? And number 3, Condor Man. Condor Man is the greatest movie Disney ever made, and it's the first foray into superhero film genre.
Wait, I got a question.
What?
You know
Can
how this
Condor
works?
Man now join the MCU?
Yes.
Oh,
I don't see why not.
Yes.
We're claiming Princess Leia as the Disney princess. I think we can
I'm in.
totally do that.
Oh my gosh, I never thought of that in my life.
Disney princesses now have Princess Leia and Shuri, so I think we can do this.
Even if they put it like in the, because I think Hulu said that they might be picking up Jessica Jones and Daredevil. And all
Yeah.
that. Just have a guy that's a comic book artist that's drawing Condor Man.
I mean,
Like, even that, just
I'm
like a
in.
little
Right.
tip of the hat to him.
I just got so excited. I'm sorry.
Which
Yeah.
one's not true? Which one of these are these not true? If you guys can hand me your papers and let me know.
Did you finish the Condor Man question?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
It's true, so we don't have to worry about that one.
Sorry, it's Condor Man. I have a love for Condor. I think it was one of the first superhero movies I had ever saw.
You know, one of my wise tale of my father always said was, just be yourself. Unless you could be Condor Man. Then be Condor Man. Then be Condor Man.
Okay, so the results are in, and this was 100% sweep. Everybody got it right.
Really? Nice.
The not so true statement was Zorro. He was not based off a popular Vogue magazine hero. It was a pulp magazine was the inspiration for Zorro.
Word.
He makes the sign of the Z.
For extra credit, what does Zorro mean?
Shoes? I don't know. No, that's Zappos.
The fox. He was Zorro the fox.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember
And then
watching
the
the
gay
Disney
blade,
Channel when the
and
Disney
then-
Channel first came out.
Yeah.
When the Disney Channel first
Oh,
came
wow.
out, they played the old Zorro.
Those
All the
old
time.
ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and Lone Ranger and all that. It was so much fun. Yeah, that's where I got my start with Zorro.
Don Diego de la Vega.
And then they made those movies with Antonio
Banderas.
But
cutting
there was-
off
Antonio
Catherine
Banderas.
Zeta-Jones's
There
clothes.
The
was
first one was
a
good.
in the 90s.
Second one was all right, but
Was there?
In the 90s there was, or maybe it was the 80s. It was before the movies. Before
80s.
Was the
I know,
80s?
yeah.
You know what I'm talking? They had I don't remember what channel it was on, but it was like called The New Adventures,
Adventures
of
of
Zorro.
Zorro.
Yes.
I think it was
That was
Disney, though.
Disney.
Yeah, it was Disney.
Was it Disney?
Yeah.
Because I remember the old. No. These were not the
These-
colorized old ones. These are. These were a whole new one.
No.
They
were
had
new, but they were colored.
Yeah, they were, and it's. I'm trying to think of some of the people
That's
that
not
were in
really
it,
bad.
but yeah, there was the New Adventures
New
of Zorro.
Adventures. Yeah, I've seen that one.
Yeah.
I would. Oh, hey Disney Plus, if you're listening, put those old Zorro.
Oh, yeah.
I
Zorro
would
things on
probably
Disney
buy
Plus.
the Disney
Yeah.
Plus.
Oh
then.
yeah.
Yes.
If they still have the rights to it, though.
It was at Disney Studios. Why wouldn't they?
Zorro's public domain.
Is it? Mm-hmm. Well, there you go.
There you go.
Even better. All right, get to it.
Okay, so let's talk about. We talked about some things that we want to see. Let's talk about the things that we saw that we didn't want to see. What were some of the really bad non-Marvel comic book movies, and what made them so bad?
So you just screened Howard the Duck right there.
See, and I dispute that.
I saved Howard the Duck on this.
I dispute that was bad.
You can't dispute that.
I do, and I'll tell you why.
I punished my kids by making them watch that.
Have you seen the honest trailers? Watch the honest trailers.
See the honest
I agree with that
It's
wholeheartedly.
about bestiality.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It's
Hold on, though. Here's what I want you to take into account when you think about Howard the Duck. Think of the movie. Think of the time frame it came out.
It's still terrible.
yeah.
I'm trying to think how old I was when it came out, because I still. Granted, Leah Thompson, I think that was the hottest I've ever seen her. Maybe that's
saw her in theaters.
my nostalgia. So did I.
Yeah.
I saw it at the drive-in.
We had to have at least been 12 or 13.
She was so traumatized by kissing her own son in Back to the Future that she went off and did
made out
another
with a
movie
duck.
about bestiality.
Did it with a duck.
Made out with a
She
duck.
was hot in that movie. Maybe that's the
That's
nostalgic
probably
factor.
what you remember about
One more
it,
time,
yeah.
scientifically accurate. Howard the Duck is really interesting or DuckTales, and the same kind of thing goes to it. Yeah,
I don't know. I don't have a bad memory of Howard the Duck.
One
let's
one
talk
word.
bad, though.
Quack foo.
Yeah.
Oh, if you're talking about a bad movie,
talk.
Catwoman.
Oh, that's
Oh,
terrible.
Oh, the
no,
Halle
that's
Berry one? Yeah.
Oh.
Now, how can you go so wrong? Why would
material-
why would you take off Selena Kyle and put whatever it was they called
Explain
her?
to me
Right.
what any of that movie had to do with that character,
Right.
period.
Nothing.
And I don't understand how you screw up a movie so terrible when you've got Sharon Stone as your bad guy and you've got
Halle
Halle Berry
Berry
as
as your-
Catwoman.
And Michelle Pfeiffer as the inspiration.
Right, how do you screw that up?
Yeah, so you want a bad movie, there's that, and the one comic book movie I refuse to watch, Steel.
Never even seen it.
I
Don't Shaq?
Yeah.
Yep, Shaq
I
Steel.
got a bad one. This one's so bad that I don't think we've ever discussed it on this show. Jonah Hex.
I need you to go ahead and edit that out.
I think when that movie came out, Amazon was giving it away for 96 cents during the
Christmas.
during the Christmas rush, and they could not sell any of them because nobody wanted that garbage.
And it should be so good.
But no.
He's
Again.
such an interesting
Okay,
character.
it has
Right.
Megan
You can
Fox
bring
in it.
Batman with
I
Jonah
mean, I love
Hex.
Megan
that-
Fox, but
Bingo.
for different reasons.
There you go.
that should be like one for Netflix as well. Make it into a TV series.
That would be
Jonah
good.
Hex?
yeah.
It's done right.
Jonah Hex.
I've got one for you. I don't know if any of you guys have seen it. Brenda Starr.
Never heard of it.
Okay, so it's based on this comic strip. Brenda Starr's a girl reporter, and it started like in the 30s and the 40s, and it just ended in the 80s
Yeah.
because she just passed away. The movie's got Timothy Dalton,
I have seen this.
and it's got Brooke Shields as
Yeah.
Brenda Starr.
Oh no.
And
no.
it's
So
just,
now you already know.
It's just
I think I saw it like on
god
ABC.
awful.
Like the edited butched version on ABC.
No, that was
once.
probably the actual version
really?
of it. Yeah, I mean, it's just, yeah, it's probably one of
Are you looking it
the
up?
worst
No.
comic book
Don't, your
movies,
phone will
but
explode.
worst movies in general,
Yeah.
but comic book movies right there.
This is from Business Insider Entertainment. 25 of the worst superhero movies ever. Oh, you said that's not Marvel, right?
Not Marvel.
Okay, so we can't say Spider-Man 3.
No,
I don't agree. Yes, that was shoehorned, but that was not one of the worst ever.
Really?
Justice
'Cause-
League was 24.
Hey,
Amazing
we'll get back to
Spider-Man
that.
Oh, that's Marvel 2.
Wow, this is
That's
a
Marvel too.
biased.
That's Marvel 2. That's Marvel 2.
Daredevil just popped up, didn't it?
Yep.
Elektra.
Electra,
Green Lantern. Not
Green Lantern. That's
Green
on my
Lantern.
list.
Um,
I gotta
Even
throw
Ryan
this one out
Reynolds
before you
makes
get
fun of
to
that
it.
one.
What does everyone agree? Barbed wire.
Oh,
Other than the first 2 minutes of that intro, there's no reason to watch
my
that movie.
15-year-old.
Pamela Anderson's the only reason why I watch that
No,
movie.
my 15-year-old brother couldn't even make it past 20 minutes of that, and he was massively in love with
Pamela Anderson.
Pamela Anderson at the
Wow.
time, and he turned and looked at me and goes, I can't.
I don't think I've finished it either.
I did.
Let me rephrase
It's
it.
one of those so bad.
I don't think I've
you've gotta
finished
watch
it in a sitting. So I think I've
There you go.
pieced in bits
That's
So
through it.
if I'm up for this challenge. If anyone at this table or anyone that wants to come in and do this, I will sit and watch the whole thing with a couple of people. We will record the audio and we'll MST 3K that entire movie.
Can we
if
do?
anybody's down with it, I will. I'll totally do that.
Can we do it back to back? That one and Judge Dredd.
I don't know if I can handle that much crap.
You gotta
That's like so much garbage in one sitting.
you need to put like I don't know, something fantastic inside. That would be a
That's
Fantastic
terrible.
Four.
Okay, so how about
the first
Tank
original.
Girl?
Tank Girl wasn't
Tank Girl was
bad.
Ice-T
Was it?
as one of the.
I enjoy Tank Girl, but I know it's a bad movie
It's
while
terrible.
I'm enjoying it. If that makes any sense.
I think it's like the so bad it's cult.
Yeah, I think that's probably what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I- I don't hate it.
so you never guess what was number 2 and number 1?
Barbed
What?
wire.
Lone Ranger and Catwoman.
Oh yeah, we
Yeah.
got it.
Supergirl's
we got
number
it.
3.
Oh really?
Really?
I wouldn't put
Fantastic.
it.
It's
I wouldn't put it as number 3.
I'd put it low, but-
I mean, it's not great.
It's not great, but I wouldn't
the,
put it as number
the
3.
latest Fantastic Four was number 4.
Still
That
haven't-
is a
think
steaming
that's Marvel.
pile.
That's the worst ever.
Still
That's
haven't
a
seen it.
steaming pile of poo.
Steel is 5.
Of course it is.
Superman 4, The Quest for Peace.
Oh,
Yes.
Superman
agree with
3,
that.
which I liked.
Okay.
Thank you. I've been vindicated.
I'm gonna stop you guys there and remind you that there are only 2 original Superman movies. There were 2 SNL skits that were several hours long.
Actually, there's one because remember, Donner filmed all of that.
Yes.
At the
1
same
and
time.
2?
So
yeah, 1 and 2 at
this
the same time.
3 and Quest for Peace thing you guys keep talking about, I've already told you before, Kosh.
It's like
that is
it's
an
like
SNL
It's like the
skit.
Godfather 3 too for you. Like no.
No, they don't exist.
Is there any more hatred you feel like spewing out before we move on?
I have one I can add. One more. It's a TV show, Nightman.
Oh.
Remember that? Nightman. It was in the
Yeah.
90s.
Yeah, late
Yes,
90s.
and
He
you
was
know-
a jazz musician who became
And
a
I had
superhero
such high-
cyborg.
No,
Had such
no.
high hopes for it.
Oh no, that
Right,
was
'cause-
Mantis. The Mantis wasn't
No,
it?
it's called
It came
Nightman.
on. It came out after Mantis, and the
Yeah.
only reason I had high hopes for it is at the same time they had done a crossover comics between the 2 different studios with that one and a Gambit.
Yeah.
It was a Nightman and a Gambit, and I was like, "Oh, I'm really excited!" And saw
Right.
this show, and I was
Right.
like,
And like the
Bleh.
concept seemed so cool, and I'm like, oh, this looks what is this?
"Yeah,
It was
talk about
bad.
getting hit in the stomach."
Oh.
Yeah, I
that-
think you can watch it on Amazon for free.
What about? Well, Street Hawk was okay.
That wasn't a comic though.
Uh,
but I was
and
thinking,
Automan,
How about-
Automan and Street Hawk.
What I tell you, Automan is the best ever.
Darkman.
Automan
Oh,
and
I like
Maximal.
Darkman.
Well,
though.
Darkman
Manimals.
was done because Sam Raimi couldn't get the rights to the Shadow.
Oh, Darkman's great
So
though.
the Darkman is actually just the Shadow.
Is that considered a bad movie? Darkman?
the
sequels,
are.
yeah. But the first one?
Yeah.
It's not bad.
Yeah, but
Wasn't
yeah,
that Liam
Darkman's
Neeson?
only
No, that
done.
was
Yeah, no, it's Liam Neeson.
Liam Neeson.
Yeah,
and
it was only
I
because
remember
he
when they
couldn't
broke
get
his
they
fingers in
wouldn't
that.
give him the rights to the Shadow because he wanted to do the Shadow,
interesting.
and they
Huh.
said no, and he's like, well, I'm just gonna make my own then.
Okay, last one, and this I want to get your opinion on it. I've heard mixed reviews on this. There was an old movie from late '80s or TV show from the '80s, Starman. Was that good or was that bad?
The movie?
The series.
I don't think I
It
ever
was
watched
based
the
on
series.
it was based on the movie.
The
Didn't the
movie
movie
was
have-
good.
I've seen
The
the movie.
series was not.
I remember I liked it, but I was like young.
You were a
young,
kid.
young,
It's
young.
because we were a kid, and it
Yeah.
was the fantastical, and it was Disney on
And
television.
he was always holding a.
It was Space Disney on
silver
TV. Yeah.
silver marble.
Wow.
No, don't let the nostalgia fool you,
Ooh.
man. It
How
no.
about-
It was bad.
Yeah,
How
it
about
was
Buck
bad.
Rogers?
No, Buck Rogers was amazing.
That is great.
No, you may not say that is bad.
That's something they need to redo. Buck Rogers, like do a different version of Buck Rogers would
With
be
Aaron
great.
Gray.
Did you know you can actually watch those on
Bitty, bitty, bitty.
Amazon?
Yep.
Really?
Yup.
Are they free?
Yup.
You can watch it on
If
where?
you've got Amazon Prime, you can watch.
I'm in.
You
I have
can watch
Amazon
Buck
Prime.
Rogers all 3 seasons.
On Amazon Prime? Really?
Yeah.
So I know what we're all doing this weekend.
This is what I do when I ride my
You
bicycle.
know what comic?
I ride my exercise bicycle and I watch old TV.
You want to know what movie was a comic, and most people think that, oh no, it was just a comedy?
What's that?
Meteor Man.
Was that a comic?
It's a Marvel comic.
You've ruined it again, Marvel.
Fair warning.
Better than Blank Man.
Hey,
okay.
Eek.
Which is also
We forgive them because they've
Marvel
just given
comic.
us 11 years of amazing movies. So,
Right,
yeah.
22 wonderful films. Well,
Yeah, they started with Howard. Okay, now let's move on to
Yes.
listener feedback.
And now, let's see what all of our geek rock stars have to say.
Okay, on our listener feedback today, we asked people what is their favorite non-Marvel comic book movie, and as per normal, people don't follow directions, so they put a bunch of them. Again, we didn't get to everybody. We cut this off after 24 hours. I apologize, just because we have so much. So we're going to split this up, and I am going to do the Twitters, and Kaj is going to do the Facebooks.
I'll be doing the Facha Libre.
So we'll be going back and forth. So there's more Facebook, so you go ahead and start there, Kaj.
All right, well, we're just going to start this off with the fighter Jesse Arter. Tales from the Crypt.
Oh, was that a comic first?
It was a pulp comic before I got the TV show.
Okay. From Twitter at Piecing Pod, which is Piecing Podcast.
Peas in a pod?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
They probably have to go with Kick-Ass. It rules.
Right.
And it does.
Mr. Scott Skeen, Umbrella Academy, which is amazing.
So good.
that's that one on Amazon or Netflix?
It's on Netflix.
Yes.
If you
I
haven't
haven't watched
watched
it
it, you need to watch
Oh,
it.
It's in my
it's like
queue.
the X-Men that you never thought you wanted.
I will honestly say this. I know you have my comics borrowed.
I
Watch
do.
Umbrella Academy before you read
Before I read
It's
Preacher?
that good.
Okay.
And I don't say that lightly.
Okay.
Okay, next one up. I have two of these to read together because one's a reply to the other. At Randy SO725, the Proclaimer of Heroes. It says The Walking Dead has been consistently interesting for me on different levels. Can't agree because I stopped a while ago. But the walkers get more and more creative over time, but the social dynamics are also fascinating. And then somebody replied at Common Sense at Real World 2018. Same. Every time I watch a show, I think of a new question or scenario, like toilet paper. Do they use it? Is it a trade good? Do people still remember it? Same with beer. Is it a world lacking in fresh water? Shouldn't they all be drinking beer? What about toothpaste? And that just, I could go back and watch these now and watch these with a whole new thought. How do they wipe their butt?
It's
Where
just
are
a
they
given.
getting the supplies?
It's important.
Right, true. All right.
I want to know how they were wiping with the hand cut off and the hook.
The one that, because it's zombie and it'll actually scratch it out. There you go.
Wow.
What if you're just fighting zombies and then you had to... Never mind.
it literally scared the poop out of you.
Does it transfer?
Sorry. Okay, go ahead.
All right, Regina Edwards, my girl, The Crow.
Only the first one. We don't talk about the others.
Right.
Is that like what we don't talk about the last two Superman?
Yep.
Or the
I've
last
already
season.
told you there were not.
Okay. From
Richard Pryor is a great comedian.
Should be some fighting at the table today, I see.
from at Green Korean, our boy from the what's his podcast? Faces and Aces, LV. I totally agree with this one. Batman Under the Red Hood.
Nice.
Good
job, Chris.
Very good.
Good call.
Christina Belton, she has two, Shazam and Condor Man.
Yes.
Oh, love her.
At Grind Messiah said V for Vendetta, Kick-Ass, Watchmen, Scott Pilgrim, MIB, The Crow, and Sin City. So that's my whole list.
Great, that's your
we're
entire
done with the show
list.
today. Have a good one, everyone.
All right, so Dino Gangle, I'm assuming this is a
Him.
guy.
Yeah.
Him, thank you. Sorry, didn't mean to offend. So Dino says for movie, The Watchmen. For TV, Batman the Animated Series.
Nice.
I do remember that. That was good.
At So Wizard Podcast, which he said The Rocketeer.
Nice.
Good
He's
call. Good call.
my friend now.
All right, so our mutual friend Mickey Rourke threw in some and said Umbrella Academy as well, and then Deadly Class.
So good on Sci-Fi.
Oh, and Lucifer,
Is that the one that-
Shazam, and
Harry Rollins was in?
and
Yes.
I'm adding Wonder Woman to there too, but he didn't write it, but I'm saying it anyway. So Wonder Woman. Yeah.
We're just gonna add it.
Are
in
you going
for
to do
him.
my whole list for me?
This is what it did.
Final Twitter ones, and then I'll jump on and help with Facebook. We have at The True Blaze, who was on the last episode, the Avengers episode.
Oh, awesome.
And he said, all right, I have to go with Del Toro Hellboy, 2012 Judge Dredd, and I am not going to say his last one because it's Marvel, so I am protesting.
All right, so Mr. Daniel Houston, he replies, I know I'll get crap for my movie choice,
yes,
but I don't care.
Because you suck. I'm
Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice, Ultimate Edition.
I would just like to stop you there and say, as a man who didn't see the Ultimate Edition in the theater, but watched the regular version in there over 20 times in the actual movie theater, I salute you.
And the mustache keeps getting weirder every time you see it.
You know what?
You literally watched that 20 times in the
Over.
theater?
20 times. If you
Over.
weren't on the spectrum before, you are
Were
now.
you sick?
No,
20
I stand by
Were you
BBS,
high?
and that man is a good man for enjoying it too. You and I, brother, you and I.
Daniel Houston, you guys better be Facebook friends after this.
That's
Right.
it. So your first date is going to be Superman 3?
You know what?
Definitely go to the Facebook page and friend him, Carl.
I will find you, Kaj.
He's right there.
He has to get to his car
Listen.
some way.
And his TV one.
You're going to be picking out curtains next time.
His TV one.
Justice League Unlimited, yes.
There you go. And I want to read my boy John from California with iZombie, which is fantastic.
It is. I need to finish up the last season.
Are we,
And then
I would say, are we at the last season for that one?
I think so.
I fell off.
I fell off after the first
zombies took
one.
over.
Oh, I haven't even made it that far.
Yeah,
So
I need to jump back
I think
in.
they're just starting. I think I saw on the CW they said iZombie final season. I think they're going to do it. Yeah. And then my boy Brian Scott, The Watchmen.
So good.
Yep.
Great call. Again, thanks for writing and letting us know this stuff. Keep it up, guys. We really appreciate it. It really makes our day when people are responding
Absolutely.
back.
And then if
It
your responses
embrace your
are good,
love
we'll
of
take
what you
them.
love.
Yeah, we're getting more and more of these, so we might have to start cutting back a little bit. We'll see, but as for now, we just cut off at 24 hours. So.
Just 24 hours, or just give us two. Like just give your top two or something.
Give us one or two.
If you dump a whole lot of it, maybe you'll make Dub do a companion video or
But
companion pod.
what I really like, which almost guarantees that you'll get your submission in, is if you tell me whatever your choice was and briefly tell me why.
There you
that's
go.
That's what I like that a lot.
Engagement, people.
Right.
It's always interesting to find out what people choose, too. So,
Which is kind of the whole process behind our show.
right.
Right.
Okay, so we move from there and let's move on to the main event.
Now it's time for the main event.
Okay, so for our main event, we are doing our top 5 comic graphic novel movies, TV shows that aren't Marvel. And for my number 5, I will be passing it until we get to Kaj because we're sharing one. So go ahead there, Carl.
So my number 5 would be Mystery Men.
Nice.
The snee, or what was it? The spleen.
The spleen.
And I shovel well.
It's a great
How
movie.
sincere he played that part was just...
And I felt that
That's-
was a good comeback for Paul Rubens from his
Yeah,
career,
yeah.
too.
What
Yeah.
That was the
comic
first thing
book movie-
afterward. Yeah.
What was his first comic book movie? Can anybody tell me?
Oh, Buffy.
Batman Returns.
Batman Returns was before Buffy.
He played the
Oh,
Penguin's
that is
father.
right. He
Penguin's
played
father.
Cobblepot's father. Yes, he did.
And then he did that public service. This is crack.
And then they brought him back to play the Penguin's father in Gotham.
That is true. Yes, that is true.
See?
And then he came up and he played the theater shooter.
That would be in between those two, though.
Well,
That would definitely be in between. Okay, so for our shared number 5, Kaj.
yes.
3, 2, 1.
Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Oh,
Such a good movie.
yeah,
Oh my
I
gosh.
think I've made everybody watch it that's been on the show, I think, at some point. We had a movie night on it.
We had a movie night on it.
It's a
yeah.
rite of passage here. You have to like that, or you don't get in.
So that means I have to watch it.
You haven't
You haven't
You
watched
ever
it?
watched it?
Oh, I know
Probably
we're doing
the
after this.
It's probably the only Chris Evans movie I haven't seen.
It is literally...
Wow.
I have
You
it.
get Superman and Captain America in the same
And
movie.
Captain
I
Marvel.
know.
And
Captain
That's right, and Captain
Yep.
Marvel now.
I
Brie
just
Larson's
haven't.
in it
I
too.
just never sat down to
And
watch it.
Ant-Man.
It
Oh,
is-
sorry, no, the Atom.
The Atom. Yeah.
Well, same
Ray
as
Palmer.
Superman. Right?
It's,
Yeah.
Oh, God, it's
So
so
good.
well done. Oh, my
It's-
God.
If you want to see a video game brought to life on a big, that's
I
like
keep
how they
meaning
should be
to.
done.
I never get around
Wow.
to it.
It is as close to perfect with a comic book movie as you can get.
Yeah.
I'll put it on my list.
And it's not really...
I'll watch it before I come back next time.
It's not really superheroes, but they're...
Well, it's just the comedy in it, too. Like, it's just so well written and just so... And it's got Michael Cera in it.
Which I
Scott
hate Michael
Pilgrim.
Cera, and that's the best thing he's ever played, though.
Yeah.
Ever.
Oh, Arrested Development.
Well, I think he did better in this than he did in Arrested Development. Got Kieran Culkin, and this can go on all day.
Yeah.
But if you haven't watched it, please watch it for our sake, and then when you watch it, thank us on Facebook and Twitter, because you will want to thank us, because it is that good if you have not seen it. Go ahead, Siege.
Sin City.
Yes.
Nice.
Not the second one, the first one.
The second one is all right, but when we're
it's okay.
talking, it's not nearly
Still
as
haven't
good.
seen
The
the second
first one
one.
is just so incredible.
Just the whole noir feel.
I'm a huge noir girl, anyways, and it's right in my wheelhouse. But it's shot so beautifully in the black and white, and then
With
the
this
accents
reds.
inside, and
And it just looks just like the comic. It looks like they just pulled a page off the comic. Yeah.
Which was your favorite story in it? It is multiple. If you haven't watched Sin City, it is, I think, 5 stories.
Yeah,
The one that's in black and white.
I kind of like Marv.
Oh, yeah.
I like Marv, and they all touch.
Yeah, there's Marv.
I would have to say Marv is my favorite.
I think Marv is
I'm
probably
going
my
back and
favorite. I
thinking
mean,
about it.
I do like. I can't.
I like the Jessica Alba, Bruce Willis.
I can't remember what the name of or what Bruce Willis's character is.
I can't either.
Is it Callahan?
I think it's Callahan.
Yeah, I think it's Callahan.
Yeah, I think it's Callahan.
And watching,
but I like Marv's because because Mickey Rourke does a really good job, because Marv is truly a noir anti-hero
yeah,
in the comic, and then he does a great job bringing him to life in the film.
and Elijah
So-
Woods
Yeah.
is the darkest character I've
Right.
ever seen. He
Well,
will give you nightmares.
After
And-
just Lord of the Rings, and then even the
Right.
Good Son, and then all of a sudden you see him in this, he's just completely
It
out
takes
of
takes you a minute because you're looking at. I mean, you see Elijah Wood and you're like, oh, it's Elijah. Whoa, no,
And I don't say this
No.
lightly.
Hardigan.
What?
Sorry.
Hardigan. That's what
what
it
it
is.
was.
And I
What?
like Rosario Dawson.
Yeah, she was good. But what Heath Ledger was to the Joker, Elisha Woods was to that character.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, but that-
really good. It's really good.
That is a creepy part. I think I actually didn't allow my kids to see the Elijah
I
Wood
wouldn't have either.
part.
Well, they could at this
disturbing.
point, I'm sure, but
What's that?
they're a little older now.
Yeah, now I mean they got to see it obviously, but I think when it came out,
That'll give you
because I just
nightmares.
remember her screaming, "He ate my head!"
Right, so
and just
Carla
started screaming.
Gugino, yeah.
And I remember having to tell my kids out of the room.
And
out
that
of the room, out of the room.
half
had-
smile he had.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He's sitting there and
Yeah.
he's listening.
Well, and I had
He's not doing anything about it. It's like,
And the color palette they used during
based
that.
on the first one, you had such high hopes for the second one, especially like
so not.
See, like I haven't seen the second one,
Right,
so it's
and
like,
I
they
love-
brought Marv back for some
I
reason.
well.
no, it takes. Doesn't it take place? Isn't it?
some of
it's
it's
one of the
before,
books.
some
Some
of
of
it's
it's
after.
before Sin City, the first movie, and some of it's after. So it's
It's
this
lazy writing.
weird. It's this weird because the Marv
It's
stuff.
Frank Miller.
The Marv stuff takes place after, but there's some of the stuff with Eva Green happens before. I mean, it
It's
makes
just all
I
over the
hated
place.
that
no
character, by the way.
sense.
in the
I was
second one.
really angry because I really love Eva Green, and if you're going to have a noir femme fatale, she's like the perfect casting.
However, I gotta say this: if I would have seen that one first, I would have loved it.
Probably, yeah.
Just like
but
one of the other things we're gonna talk about later.
The first one is just so
good.
If you
And
haven't seen it, go see it.
It would have been an A+ if it would have been out first.
I mean,
Yeah,
I think I'm going to lose some cool points with you. I don't like Ava Green.
we can't be friends anymore.
I'm sorry. I remember her in
You want
300.
to go with me
the
to walk him out to his car
Spartans.
today?
I know.
Like, I'm sorry. Like, no, she just no.
It's just not safe out
can't-
there.
She just
we-
rubs it like she.
we
what
can't
she
be
did
friends
right,
anymore.
With 300 Rise of Empire, like I didn't like her in that.
She's been
Didn't
in a
like
lot
her
of
Sin
crappy
City.
movies.
Yeah.
That's the problem. Like she was Dark
Like Sin City 2.
Shadows, Sin City 2, Dark Shadows.
Yeah.
Okay, so my number 4 is a TV series, and it's 2 series into one, and I'm going to go for Justice League / Justice League Unlimited. Perfection. I love a lot of the animated stuff. That is the best, I think. And it's not even my Green Lantern, and I love every second of it. Stories were so well told. The animation is perfect. It's not too much. It's not too shaded. It's not too in your face. It's just perfect.
Okay.
I think I'd call that animation a million times better. Don't hit me. It's better than Batman the Animated Series with the animation and even the stories.
I will only agree with that based off the fact that it's an evolution.
Yeah.
Of it. I kind of shocked that you pulled just those two out of that instead of taking the whole Timverse.
Yeah, I know, but I wanted to really
focus on
those.
Just curious,
because I think honestly, I love the whole Timverse, but that's the pinnacle right there. I think.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
those DC animated movies were really, really good, though.
Everything's built off that. And
Cause gave me
Young Justice
Flashpoint.
is great too, by the way.
Well, Cause gave me Flashpoint to watch, and
you need to read Flashpoint.
I have, but he gave me the movie to watch. And
did you watch the movie yet?
I did.
I loved it.
Don't go back and read the book.
Okay, but it got me.
I say
he let me Flashpoint a couple years ago, and I hadn't seen any of these animated DC films, and I watched that one. I'm like, I gotta watch all of these things. So I watched God and Monsters and
that's great.
And then you see
alternate look.
Throne of Atlantis or
Throne of Atlantis.
Throne of Atlantis, Wonder Woman. I mean, those were all at the time because DC's had some good movies now. Not Batman versus Superman.
Wow, shade.
But
those movies were really, really good. I mean, they were better than what they were putting out in the cinemas.
theater. Oh yeah.
And it doesn't feel like it's frustrating. It's like, well, if they do such good animation stuff,
Yeah.
bring those writers to do the movies. How hard is that?
Stuff.
Well, the problem is DC has no backbone, and they bow down to everybody. The animation they don't get messed with
because the animation that they know that
separate
the animation
universe,
has their specific target. They know what target they're headed over.
But the other stuff they don't have a
care.
backbone. They bow down to everybody, and that's their problem.
Shareholders.
Yeah.
My number 4 is The Road to Perdition.
Nice.
Really?
Okay.
Yep.
Wow.
Most people tend to forget that it's a graphic novel.
Yeah.
Yeah, it started as a graphic novel first.
I mean, that movie is. Correct me if I'm wrong. Won an Academy Award somewhere along the way. That's just. It is a very powerful movie.
I met the author.
It's a little.
Did you?
Last month, I think, because he came to the Mom Museum and did a signing.
Nice.
Very cool.
Yeah, very cool.
My number 4 is obvious. The Walking Dead. Started out.
Still?
I mean, even. Huh?
Still?
Not still, but I mean, from like.
Spoiler
Season-
alert. Once Glenn and Abraham were gone, I was done.
At probably I haven't even watched any of this new season, and I think I was 4 episodes from the last season after that. Once what's his face was
Rick?
not Rick.
The Tiger.
No.
Carl.
Wow,
No.
we're just gonna keep guessing.
I know it's a
No.
bad guy.
Negan?
Thank you. Once they had the whole war thing, that I kind of left off of it. But the beginning, the first 3 or 4 seasons were amazing.
Absolutely.
And the comic book was just as vile and gory as what the movie was.
I was just gonna ask, were you a comic book reader?
I saw the series first, and then went and started to read the comic books afterwards. Yeah.
Just wondering how you feel about how much they diverged from each other.
They needed to.
I kind of I put it in the same category as Game of Thrones. There's just some things that you can't. If they probably could put it into the TV series, but it would just be far complicated. So it's better to just let them have a loose structure format for the show that they just follow on. And they do bring some stuff back every so often too, and it keeps up with spoilers too. So especially even with the Glenn and Abraham thing, people who read the comic knew what was going to
Glenn
happen.
was going, but didn't know Abraham.
But not that way.
Yeah.
It was just. Yeah. Anyway, sorry, it wasn't satisfying for me, and that's why I jumped off. Before that, I loved every episode.
So the Rick Grimes show. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Flash.
Oh
yes.
Not that one.
The 1980?
No. Well, I liked the 1980. I did like the
John
1980.
Wesley.
John Wesley shit.
Watch those.
Yeah, you can.
I am contractually
But you
obligated.
also, if you have the CW app, you
can watch
too.
the new ones.
Yeah.
I am contractually obligated to say that anything that you say 80s Flash, I have to say John Wesley ship. Yeah.
Yes, because Brian Scott loves
Yes.
him.
I'm just a fan and I want to meet you. So if
Right,
you're
he's
hearing-
amazing, and I'm glad they brought him back as Henry Allen in this new version. I love the new version. I really do. I mean, I'm an Arrow girl, and then although I've kind of fallen off when they've turned it into the Felicity show.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the Felicity.
wasn't it?
Yeah, it's whatever they call that ship. But yeah, once it became so Felicity heavy, I was like, I don't care.
Wow. I thought I was gonna have to edit that, but no, that was okay.
I said ship.
I heard
Ship.
it. I like a plosive. That's outstanding.
But yeah, I love. I need to. I'm a little bit behind on it, but the first.
Are you a Legends of Tomorrow kind of girl?
I watch the crossovers because I like all the crossovers that they do. I consistently watch the Flash, although I haven't watched any of this season.
It's good. It's with
yeah,
Nora.
I mean,
It's good.
Yeah, I need to.
I caught the first half. I haven't
watched. I did watch the crossover that they did, Crisis on Earth.
That was actually
X.
really good too. Yeah.
The crossovers are really usually good, but I mean the other thing is I like Grant Gustin, his portrayal of the Flash, because I think he really embodies Barry Allen really, really well. He does the things.
He's Barry. He's not Wally.
He's totally
Barry.
Barry.
Yeah, he's Barry. He's very Barry Allen. I like his Barry Allen much better than I like whatever that kid is in
Ezra Miller.
Ezra Miller. He doesn't strike me as a Barry. But maybe if I hadn't been
He could have
such
been a Wally.
maybe if I hadn't been such a Flash TV show loving girl when I went into that, I would have liked Ezra
I don't
Miller
think so.
better.
No.
But
I-
If you've read the
You would
comics,
have liked him,
not
but
love
you
him.
wouldn't have
Yeah.
liked him as Barry.
yeah, he
Yeah.
doesn't strike me as
He's
Barry
definitely a
Allen.
Wally
He's
West.
definitely
He
a
could have
Wally
been funny
West.
like Wally,
Yeah.
Yeah,
but he was.
yeah. I just really
I think
like.
in this case, it's just name. I think it's just a thing.
Well, did I hear that? I think since Riverdale isn't Riverdale
It's in
kind
the
of
same universe.
well, they're
Is
aren't
it?
they?
They consider it the same uni-
since Luke
No,
Perry passed. Aren't they? Aren't they stopping
Riverdale
the
is
show?
in the same universe as Sabrina.
Right.
The Adventures of Sabrina on Netflix. So they're going to
Right.
do a crossover between the two of them.
Well, I was also hearing a rumor that the
And they're
guy who
doing a new
plays
one.
Archie might be coming in to play Wally for the Flash in the next season.
They have Wally,
They
though.
have a Wally.
We have a Wally West.
Well, they have,
We got Brother Wally.
Well, they got Brother
Yeah.
Wally, but they're bringing back
Oh.
Redhead Wally.
That's right.
Oh,
Yeah.
maybe.
What?
That's my Wally.
What's
so.
Yeah.
weird is KJ Appa's not a
I mean, I
redhead.
do too. But
I guess they like him
Impulse.
enough on the show that
Kid
there's
Flash was. He was when
Kid Flash.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but if they're gonna have,
no,
gonna
she's
have,
saying the actor is
if they're
not.
gonna have KJ Appa come in to
Oh.
play the redhead kid just because he was in Riverdale.
Oh.
Just
I
weird.
think-
I know that the whole Riverdale universe is getting a new. They're doing Katie Keene,
Okay.
a TV
Yeah.
version of the Katie Keene
Yeah.
comics.
Okay.
So all three of those universes are going to be.
No,
Are they gonna
honestly,
find
Riverdale
shit?
Okay.
surprised me. That's a lot better.
It's
than I
not
thought
the
it would
Archie comics,
Can we
No.
get Casper added in there?
be. It's its own thing.
right?
Just saying.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for them to do the new Scooby Doo adventures.
As long as they don't turn it out like Sabrina. Okay.
What?
My number
like
3 is Kingsman. This is another one of those. If I would have seen Kingsman 2 first, I would have liked it. But Kingsman 1 was so good that they put out the second one and it was not.
Didn't live up. I think they're doing a third, aren't they?
Yes,
Yes,
they
they
are.
are.
I think they want to make it like a whole James Bond type universe. Really interesting concept. I really like the characters. And I didn't think that when I started watching, I'm like, I'm gonna hate this character. He's a punk. Blah 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 blah. And you fall in love with the character. And he stays true to himself. But he grows up, and it's very well
He means
done.
well. Even being a punk, he means well.
Yeah.
Somewhat, yeah.
And I'm talking about like in terms of his family. He's
Yeah.
always looking
Oh,
out for his
but-
mom.
And I do suggest reading the comic book because you know how everybody dies in that
And the church scene.
in the church scene.
Yeah.
Luke Skywalker
Yes.
dies. Everything else, they all die in the comic book too.
Oh,
Ooh.
It's amazing. I don't know how they did it, but like they let you have their image to do that, and then they made a movie about it.
yeah.
Yeah, that's another great soundtrack, by the way. Just
Yes.
Nice.
yeah. What was that they were playing in the
It's a
church?
great
Freebird?
cast too.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, phenomenal cast.
Yeah, but then they went down the second one and they did some stuff that With
Yeah,
like the tracker. I'm like, really?
Yeah.
Really? No, I think.
But Mark Strong singing "Take Me Home, Country
Oh
Road"
my
is probably
gosh,
the whole,
so
the
good.
pinnacle of the film.
Yeah. What suddenly that became like people that I know have not watched that movie were starting to sing that song
Yeah.
all the time. It's really weird. Okay, sorry.
Number 3 for me is Smallville.
Nice.
That didn't make your number one?
Nope, didn't make my
I'm in
number
shock.
one. But I stand by the phrase I'm about to make. Without Smallville, you would not have Flash or Arrow or Legends of Tomorrow. Or
I
any of those
will not
CW
dispute
shows
that with
I won't
you.
dispute that either.
Yeah,
Yes,
I won't
it did
dispute
so
that
well
with you
that
at
they took a chance. Like,
Yeah, they
all
could
right.
take a chance with
Yeah.
Arrow, but they wouldn't have
And
been
they
able
did
to
the same
take the
thing with
chance
Gotham.
without.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah,
I
they
think
wouldn't have been able to take it without Smallville. so.
Sidebar: has anybody seen the final episode of Gotham?
Nope.
Neither have I. But I actually
Saw
wanna
the
see it.
steel pick of Batman, and that was enough
Yeah,
for
I'm
me.
done.
Yep. I was like, okay, well, I don't need to watch that.
and then the whatever the Joker was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know about
They
that.
change it by like every week. So
Well, that's it.
it's
So
a
number-
multiverse, kids. It's a
multiverse.
multiverse.
All right, so number 3, I would be remiss without going to my anime corner. Naruto,
With your 7
Okay.
million episodes.
7 million. There is
And growing.
743,
Oh Lord!
Are you making that up?
almost.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I've heard a different number every time
He
you've done
looks very
things.
Man, I'm gonna have to
sincere
find
about
out.
it,
There's, I think there's 244 in the first season or first series, and then there's 500 in the second. So it's somewhere around there.
A lot.
And you've
As-
watched them all, haven't you?
I have twice.
multiple times.
And they sent
I'm
him a
sure.
patch.
Twice. I got my good Naruto decoder ring.
Glittering.
With the hair.
Good there.
They gave him anime hair.
I am now part of the Leaf Village.
Wonder Woman is my number 3. I know that's a shock to
That is pretty
anybody
low.
who knows. I know. I mean, it's not my number 1, but
I took it off my list just because I knew you were going to
because you know I was gonna say it because it's yeah. I hammed it hot between 2 and 3, but yeah, Wonder Woman is definitely up there. Wonder Woman to me is what Superman is to you.
Fair enough.
So
Nice. My number 2
And she
is
saved Dawn of Justice. I mean, what?
my number 2 is the original Crow.
Okay.
Perfect soundtrack, and I dare you to find a single Halloween party for the next 5 years that there was not at least 5 guys dressed
Oh
as
my
the
God.
Crow.
I'm just
Right.
saying, movie's so good that the actor's like, you know what? I'm just gonna die during the making of this.
You know
one, so
what?
can't-
I'm never going to
no,
top
no
it.
one's gonna be able to top
can't
this.
top it.
Well, no, it's not too soon. It's just in bad taste.
Yeah.
No, that honestly, I think that franchise could have continued to blow up if he wouldn't have died.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
if he had not had his accident, it probably could have lasted several more movies.
You know,
Just make it a trilogy, yeah.
and then the
absolutely.
rest of them were just terrible. I mean, I'm
City of Angels.
it's filmed in sepia
Salvation.
with Edward Furlong.
Was,
Had
was,
Kirsten Dunst in it too.
Okay,
wasn't,
Young
wasn't that the guy?
girl.
Wasn't that the guy in Iron Chef America?
It makes me want to vomit. Go ahead.
My number 2 is Batman '89.
Nice.
Nice.
Classic Batman.
It's a classic. It was, for all intents and purpose, when it came to the superhero genre, a game changer. Changed us from looking at superhero movies in a campy way to giving us a very realistic and straightforward look at it. So I'd be really remiss, and I would not be a DC fanboy if I didn't put that in there.
Nice.
Yeah.
With the comic book feel.
Yes,
Definitely,
definitely.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, like Superman 70 Superman with
66.
Batman 89 was, yeah, definitely. My number 2, he's just about to have another movie come out by his own creator, Todd McFarlane, Mr. Spawn.
Nice.
Just
This one better be gruesome.
from how he's talking about it, it's if people don't like it, it's the creator's
Wait,
fault.
isn't he working with Blumhouse on this
Yes,
one?
yes.
Oh, yeah.
So it's going to be. He's like, you are not prepared. This is a horror movie. It's not a superhero. It's a horror movie with a superhero in it.
Yeah.
But it's not. Yeah, don't think of the old one with Violator and
You've been violated.
was it Jamal White?
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't work. Yeah, throw that out the window. This is
was
nothing.
terrible.
You're not prepared.
It wasn't bad for its time.
There was a kid and his dog.
Graphics were not the best.
There was a kid.
You
and
mean his
dog.
cape?
Yeah.
A kid and his dog in Spawn.
That kid and the dog is also in the comics, though.
Why do you think Edna Mode doesn't like capes? Because of Spawn. That's why.
That's why. My number 2 is The Phantom. It's a terrible movie, but I absolutely love it.
That was the Billy Zane, right?
The Billy Zane.
Has a special place in your heart?
It does, because
right under her cockles.
As awful as it is, Billy Zane is actually an inspired choice to play Kit Walker. And he manages to capture the essence of the Phantom. Like, he went into it fully, like, his research into it. And
I want someone to check her arm to see if she has a print from getting punched by the ring.
Yeah.
So she doesn't want any more of those hits on her. That's why she's endorsing
he beats me
it.
up every night. But, yeah, I mean, the rest of it, the movie's not great, but I really enjoy it. And I'll still sit down with a bowl of popcorn and watch it and just... But I love all those pulp heroes. I like it considerably better than I do The Shadow, because it's actually
so bad.
Well, and The Phantom is truer to the comic strip and the old pulp novels than The Shadow was. So.
Okay, so we're on our number 1. Very easy pick for me would be Kick-Ass. Loved it. It was. I don't know. They did everything right with that movie.
Like Kick-Ass and Kick-Ass 2, or just the original?
Just Kick-Ass.
Just the original.
Kick-Ass 2 was terrible.
Okay.
Again, they tried to push it too far on the second one.
Money grab and just try to get out there as quick.
Yeah.
And then Jim Carrey's involvement with it was sad, to say the least. It just so enjoyable. The way they built the character up, how it's a character that unless you've read the comic, you've never heard of him. And I liked that. And they stayed true to that vision.
Yeah, they did.
Nice.
So it's, it's a fantastic movie. Again, another great soundtrack. The orchestration on it's just beautiful. You know, it's everything a superhero movie should be, with the F word dropped in a lot.
By youngsters.
Which is really creepy.
Nice.
She was, 9?
Right?
Shoot me again.
Shoot me again, Daddy. Oh, what?
My number 1 is what I believe to be the grandfather of all superhero movies, and that would be the 1978 Superman, the movie.
Nice. The Donner cut.
Let's be honest. We would not have
One of
the
the best.
superhero renaissance that we're having now
No.
if we would have never had the Christopher Reeves movie.
I would agree with
And
that.
Marvel needs to say thank you, Donner.
Such
Really do.
perfect Superman too.
Yeah.
He was just the perfect
That
Superman.
movie, you didn't have to be dark and gritty and anything else. It was full of hope, full of drama. The origin can be considered drawn out a bit by today's standards, but at that time, you got a great origin of him becoming Superman.
It's
You
what
had-
people needed at that point. There was no million other stories being told.
That's true.
Well-
It just really, it embraced, in my opinion, everything that a comic book movie should be.
And when he flew, you believed it.
Yeah.
I like the fact that it's not dark and gritty, because Superman doesn't have
Ever.
to be dark
It
and
should
gritty.
never be.
That was one of my biggest issues, and it's still my biggest issues with Man of Steel and with the Batman versus Superman. Superman is supposed to be light.
Yeah.
And he's supposed to be full of hope, like you said, and that's what you get when you watch the Donner movie, as opposed to any of the new stuff.
Yeah, I think my favorite phrase out of that movie that embodies who Superman is at the end when the warden says, "Thanks, Superman. We're all safe thanks to you." And he says, "Don't thank me. We're all part of the same team." And flies off. You get when you that's a
chills.
hero.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Never mind.
No, that's good.
No,
No, we
I was going to talk about how we mentioned the Superman theme. You can't not hear that and not see Christopher Reeves flying
right.
around the earth. I don't care
Backward.
who you are or
Right.
what. Yeah, if you hear it, that's what you see in your mind's eye.
Great, totally agreed. All right, so my number 1 is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Which version?
I like the 90s versions, like even up to 3 when they go back in time.
The Secret,
Crazy. I know.
Secret of the Ooze.
Yeah, Secret of the Ooze.
With
Yeah.
Kevin Nash as Shredder.
Go Ninja, go
Go Ninja, go.
The 2005 cinematic, the Pixar or the CGI version of it. The newer ones with
The creepy looking turtles.
Yeah, when they look like 4 Hulks instead of like.
I've only seen the first one of those. The oh my god, what is his
Nickelodeon
name?
ones.
No, the Transformer killer guy.
Michael Bay.
Thank you, the Michael Bay one. Transformer killer.
The second one isn't that
Michael
great
Bay,
either.
the killer of childhood.
Yeah,
It's like
no,
for him.
it's
Aw,
bad.
and it had
Sorry.
Seamus in it.
I gotta ask, are you looking forward to the Batman Ninja Turtles movie?
Oh yes.
Oh my god!
I just saw it. The trailer's out.
What is it next month? I think.
Yeah.
Oh, my.
Was it?
I've already got it. It's already paid for.
Well, if you have the DC Universe app, you get it when it drops.
Oh, nice. Okay, then I don't have to pay for it. Yes, I want my money back.
They ain't gonna give it to you back.
Ah,
You're screwed.
Nice. My number 1 is The Rocketeer.
Nice.
Excellent movie.
Yeah, it's another full of hope kind of. Cliff Secord is your bumbling hero in a way, out to save the girl and protect the world from Nazis. And
Would you want them to redo it?
no,
Just keep it the way it is?
no, keep it the way it is.
Okay.
I know that Disney had
They almost did.
Well, it wasn't going to be a remake. It was going to be the Rocketeer core. So it was going to be a bunch of girls. Yeah, it was right. And I say this as a big feminist. We don't need to keep throwing women in stuff just to throw women in stuff.
Don't we have those already?
Yeah.
The Rockettes?
Yeah.
And
I went
that's
there.
a show.
Yes, I went
He
there.
closed us out.
Wow. Okay.
No.
Go to the website www.iheartgeekshow.com. Use the com. We paid extra for it. Go to the Facebook. Talk to us. Answer the polls. We'll talk back. We might even put you on the show. Go to the Twitter. Do the same thing at Comic Not Geek.
iHeart.
At iHeartGeek Show. Thank you. Wow,
Welcome.
it's one of those days. We've been recording a long time.
Yeah.
Check out all our Twitters on the show notes. And until next time, I'm Dub.
I'm Carl.
I'm Kaj.
I'm Siege.
Keep on geeking on.
The Rockets.
Geeky Page.
The Rockets.
Your geeky
really?
page.
Wow.
Geeky page.
You've been listening to iHeartGeek. Our Twitter account is @iHeartGeekShow. Hope you enjoyed the show.